So I wanted to show you how this is evolving. The command center has turned more into a personal manager per se for my content creation. So let me go through it so you can see what I'm talking about. So the command center has now Atlas, where I'm able to speak to him and he could give me the rundown of the week, the day, the month, whatever the case is. I have a view here of the system, how the engine is doing. Is it stalled? Is it running? How many agents do we have? Pending approvals on my end, etc. I also added a finish everything tab. So it's like a turbo tab. You press it and everything gets approved, everything gets worked on. They're all starting to like spend all this kind of token, but it's DeepSeek, so don't worry about it. It doesn't spend that much. Um, I got the CEO dashboard, priorities, biggest risk that I need to be aware of, biggest opportunities, and things that I can ignore as well. I also added the top agents integrations that we have, Supabase, NAN, Railway, and 11 Labs. From here, I also added a ventures tab. So I mentioned this in a previous video. I wanted to make passive income, and I want these agents to run on their own through NAN automation and be able to like create these ebooks, for example, create ebook proposals, um, faceless YouTube videos. So I'm already scripting this out with them, looking at the architecture, and we're trying to decide how to move forward from here to make it a reality. In terms of careers, I added a career page which will be scraping various online websites to have here. The idea here is to create a module for people that would like to um, prepare for a job, right? So they can do their interviews with a one-on-one coach through here and talk through them and also see what has been applied through. Where are they on the interview process? Do they have a contract? Is it blocked or not, etc. What is the strategy? What are the messages that need to be sent out? And all based on the requirements that I want, right? So no more going to LinkedIn, no more going to 100 million sites. It's all centralized in one place to conduct your interviews as well for the job that you want. Here, most importantly, I added the studio. And the studio added a neural lens that takes a look pretty much um, at all of the videos that and it's still loading, so apologies there, but all the videos that I have, and then what reaction it's gathering from the public. While this loads, let me show you. There you go. Okay, so in this case, it's showing the first one, como ahorrar 5,000 mes con agentes. It's showing the curiosity, the reward, and the attention. Let me make it bigger. Okay, so I can get an idea of how this video is going to be received before it goes out based on data that I'm already posting, which is pretty cool. I got levers in here, um, suggestions from the agents that are on my team. If I were to increase these levers, then they would only get the videos would only get better in terms of the response, right? So right now, projected engagement is at 67%. I also have a video editor, so I wanted to get rid of CapCut. And now what I can do is just throw a video in here. It has a template and it edits everything, takes all the silences out for me, etc. It's still kind of clunky. It doesn't work pretty well yet, but I'm still working on it. I also got a tab here to create carousels for me. Haven't tried it yet, but it's also giving me outputs that aren't the best, but still working on it. And the editor. So the editor I think is turning out pretty cool. So this is like my CapCut where I have like animations, brand, font. I can really get into the details of adding text, video, audio, captions, and whatnot, exporting them and having everything centralized in one place. I also have a socials tab. The socials tab pretty much just gathers all of my social media content from everywhere, total engagement, platforms, etc. So I can have insights into what's really working and what's not working. I got a so I got a file section as you can see here where the team works and I can look at their outputs um, on what they have created, videos, scripts, whatnot. I also have the approval log. So things that they are proposing to me that are pending, I would take a look at them, read them, reject them with feedback. So this does have an agent loop. So anytime I reject it, it keeps track of it. It rereads next time around to what I didn't like, so it doesn't commit what I call the same mistake, pretty much not stepping in the same hole twice, right? Then finally, I got the calendar. So the calendar shows me what's up for this week in terms of action items the team is giving me to reach out to people and to pitch my background. Um, if we go further down, I have again the best times to post based on the content that I already have out there. A calendar with all of the things that I need to record and the dates, the timing, the cadences, etc., as well as the scripts and this detail here at the very bottom. Finally, I got the engine room. Now, the engine room is a little bit more personal. Has nothing to do with what I was showing with the command center. But again, these are modules that I'm trying to work out and eventually make it open source for everyone to use. So the Atlas canvas is pretty much you speak to it and it can start creating charts, visualize the charts of the data that the team has for Novaxis. I also got the chat with persistent memory across all agents. Um, Eventually, I'm going to have a podcast where this is going to be automated, where I drop the podcast clip into, and then it does all the rendering, the cleaning up for me, and then uploading up to Spotify in this case. Canvas, pretty cool. I connected this to Fall AI. So now, if you don't know what Fall AI is pretty much a platform that has all sorts of different um, other meta platforms, right, that are connected to this one, where it allows you to create videos, images, and for content creation and all sorts of things, right? So I tried replicating that here for Novaxis, and this is what you're seeing right now. And so pretty crisp, pretty cool. I love this part. And again, I don't have to go anywhere else. I got Atlas here at the very bottom right to speak to for each one of my tabs. The team, again, I think I showed this before. They should all be yeah, they're all personalized. There's one for each one of them. Um, I want to make this into gamification in the future, but that's where they stand right now. Hierarchy are in nodes, so click on any one team member, and then you can see who's working for that one team in this hierarchy structure. I got a PMO team in here with uh, with an agent that takes a look at the entire Novaxis system and then provides me, like as you're seeing on the screen, risk, legal, finance, strategy, etc., blockers, decisions to make, all sorts of things. I also got a strategy room, right? So what is our strategy for 1 year, 3 year, and 5 year mark, and how are we doing? Also created what I call a hedge fund. It's not a hedge fund, right? But this is not financial advice at all. But what it does here, it does invest for me paper money, not only at a bullish but at a bear market as well. So it also has a loop where it's learning consistently on what it does wrong and in terms of the types of setups that it's looking at, the breakouts that it's looking, the methods, etc. And so it learns what works and what doesn't work. And then the following time it makes a record. So you got the prediction in the engine here, right? So confidence levels, so you got the prediction levels and the accuracy right now is 58%. As you can see, I got some methods scoreboard, what works, what's not working. And then live wire in terms of like biggest news that's hitting the market at the moment. Okay. I also got what I called Oracle. Um, Basically, you put in here a PDF and you can ask it based on the data that you're feeding it, like predict me how likely my brand is to survive. In this case, I have those levers here at the bottom. And then it runs a simulation in the background with multiple agents. It has like a contrarian, a positive agent, a negative agent, and it gives you perspectives from everyone and averages those perspectives on where they think that your question, the answer to your question is going. Synapse, it's nothing than just a library. Pretty cool. I still need to fix it. Was thinking about getting the open source from Graphify and making it look a little bit better. Right now, it's kind of sloppy. Build. So here I got cursor is built into this agent that's dedicated to this section is called Forge, and he's the developer for our team. And it's basically just cursor connected externally to Novaxis, so I can add any new feature and then he can start working on this feature and adding skills for the team, etc. Like for example here, we got client value analytics, compliance scanner, a calendar manager, content generator, content repurposer, cross-platform, drive for folder plus doc, file processor. As you can see, it's many. TikTok scrape, unified analytics dashboard, web search, etc. I got another one for Kindle. Again, I haven't gotten to this point yet, but eventually this is going to be automated. Going to be uploading these books for me on Amazon to sell. Security, this is going to be my security team. Takes a look at my GitHub as well as Novaxis and provides me an audit for all of this, as you can see here on your screen. And as you can see here, the M file, I have it public, so it's something that it calls out to me. Pretty cool, right? Because if I forget, then I can get hacked easily. All right, so legal. I got the legal team here as well for anything that I need to create like policies, SOPs for the company, any questions that I have for setting up the company structure as well, things of that nature. Procurement. So the procurement team is telling me how much I'm spending at the moment. I'm spending $130 in cost, and these are the things that I'm spending it on. And then what are my AI credits, freelance contractors in the future, if I have any. This is going to keep everything tracked by the procurement agent. I got finance eventually. What I did is in the background, I connected Stripe. So Stripe, from what I heard, should be having agents that can charge on a virtual wallet. And so what Stripe has announced is that they'll have agents on a virtual wallet that can charge and that you can pay with. So that's pretty cool. I need to get to this as well. Also have payments. So payments, who are they being made to, when, why, just keeping a log of everything. Again, as you can see here, it says add Stripe API key and connections. So this is where the Stripe would really come in handy. I got my HR team. Obviously, we if we're looking at compliance and regulation, we need to also look at the HR aspect of everything, the brand, code of conduct, um, the NDA agreements, independent contractor agreements, etc. Then I got the presence coach. So the presence coach is more of that thought leadership behind how am I doing my job? Am I doing everything well? Where can I get some more coaching? That's what it's for. Outbox is pretty much whenever one of my agents wants to send an email out to someone, this is where I see it, and this is where I approve it or decline it. See here. Processes, pretty cool. So because I have a background in business process management, I created what was like a Six Sigma agent to keep a track of all the processes that we have for the team, and then also apply Six Sigma to our processes. And in this case, for example, they applied the FMEA analysis to them and gave me an RPN for each one and where I can continuously improve for my company across the company so we could get rid of silos, right? So I got all sorts of information in here, recommendations, um, human gated enforced, no activation path bypasses approval, as you can see here in the FMEA Six Sigma section. Pretty cool stuff. Then I got the Process Studio to create process flows. Haven't used it yet, but this is just a placeholder at the moment. System dashboard, pretty much just signals for the system. I thought that I needed a way to make it a little bit more cleaner and more detailed. So I'm currently working on this, and this is how it's looking so far. Sorry. Social dashboard, same thing, trying to make it cleaner. Operation dashboard, same thing. This is looking at our operations as well as the Sterling desk, which is fake money, as we had previously mentioned. Our connectors, so Entropic, Open Router, etc. If they're active, if I want to pause it, all that. And then our settings. So that's where we are so far. Again, this has been evolving into like my content manager. Um, and it's turning out pretty cool. So if you have any comments, please let me know. DM me or write in my comments. I would love to get more input from developers to see how I can fix this and improve it even further. So thank you for watching. Talk to you soon.